Let's start recording. So good evening, everyone. Good to be on here. It's been a while. Happy to host our Monday night team call once again. So I'm just going to go over some housekeeping rules before we get started and before I introduce the speaker. So this is our Monday night team calls, 10 p.m. Singapore time, 30 minutes of social proof, where we invite a different speaker from around the world, leaders in WorldVentures, building in the field, having success. Resources that we'd like for you to take note of is the onebigteaminternational.com website, the various Facebook team groups, Facebook groups that you're a part of course, the One Big Team YouTube channel. And if you're new and you haven't done so yet, please make sure to download the Dream Trips app, where you're going to see awesome dream trips for you to book. And if you're new, you should go ahead and book a welcome dream trip within your first 90 days, because you'll get special pricing on that. Okay, and all of our calls and webinars are recorded and archived onto the website as well as on YouTube. So I'm really excited to be on here. It's been a while, so really, really happy to see everyone on, and thank you for the love. Have no fear, I am here. It's Byron from Singapore. So I've invited someone very special with us tonight. We don't get to see and speak to some of our fellow members in the US. We hardly get to socialize with them, maybe if we go to United. And I had the privilege to meet this young gentleman a couple of years ago. We worked together in, of course, One Big Team, and I've just heard such amazing things about him, his work ethic, his determination, how he has managed to really build this, starting from when he was a student in university, and then now he's doing this full-time along with other things. And he's just really passionate and dedicated to his team, and he's really a passionate servant leader, loves to help people. And he's a young guy, really, paving the way for other people and really getting a lot of traction and momentum in his team and getting some really good duplication, I've heard. So I wanted to invite him on and, bring him on to share his golden nuggets with us. So Tracy, my man, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, and we'd love to see you. Your camera's not on. There okay. You are. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
So happy to have you on here. Thanks so much for spending your early Monday morning with us. I know you probably won't want to wake up so early as you do now.
Yeah.
Awesome picture, dude. Great abs.
Thanks. I had to get my body right before Miami.
Right? Miami and all those IMD trips coming up, huh?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, tonight we have a awesome topic that we're going to share, fast duplication, among other things. And so Tracy and I were kind of formulating what we wanted to talk about. Hey, Mike just raised his hand. So let's dive right into it. Before we get started, since no one here in Asia really knows you, how about you kind of give us a little introduction on who you are and your story, how long you've been in WorldVentures and your journey.
Okay. I mean, my name is Tracy Ekeocha. My parents came from Nigeria, actually, so they moved over to the U.S. for a better life. And so I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. And growing up, honestly, like, vacations wasn't a thing. Like, my parents cared about me, loved me very much, obviously, me and my brothers and sisters. But we never had time to go on vacation because we didn't have the time or the money. And so, I mean, I went to Six Flags or SeaWorld like once, like growing up, just a couple amusement parks, and that was it. And so when I got to college, everyone that goes to school, they like to have fun, go on vacations. Still didn't get to go on vacations then. And so it wasn't until my first year in grad school. This was the end of 2011. So I've been in WorldVentures for about 5 years now. And I saw this and I got really excited. I was like, whoa. I'm like, if this is real, like, I'm all in. Like, that's the first thing I said, because the prices are clearly amazing. And so, I mean, been doing this for 5 years now, and honestly, I've traveled more in the past 5 years compared to the first 25 years of my life. I mean, coming from a kid from Dallas, Texas, to be able to go to places like Australia and Thailand and the Bahamas and Miami and Mexico, swimming with dolphins and sharks. I don't even know how to swim. Like, that's kind of embarrassing to admit. But because of WorldVentures, it's created those experiences for me to just go all over the world. And then obviously I'm doing the business as well. Never done anything like this before, so I'm not someone that knows anything about sales, finances, marketing, anything like that. I'm just someone that's very happy and passionate and like being around people. And the rest is history. Just been having fun with this thing.
That's awesome. So you've been part of this idea for 5 years now?
Yes, for 5 years, yes.
That's so awesome. And I know we're part of a larger team that works together. So really cool to be on here with you. Is some of your team members logged on tonight or this morning?
No, they're not. I didn't know that I could. If I would have known, I had no
All right,
idea.
they'll have to check out the recording. And you guys should have been on here, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, really awesome story. Amazing that this has totally changed your lifestyle. So let's get right into it. So when we talk about duplication, we know we're talking about scoring in 24, getting a new person started. So what do you actually do when a new person gets started? How do you ensure that you score in 24 with them?
So when a new person gets started, like, coming from a psychology background, I mean, you don't have to come from a psychology background to know this, but, everyone is different. And so whenever someone gets started, the first thing I do is categorize them. There's 5 different categories. The first category is, category 1, they just want a membership to travel the world. Category 2 is they want a free membership, so they want to get there for, pay no more. Category 3 is they want to make a little money. So that's a couple of $100 a month, so like senior rep, area, maybe director. Category 4 is they want to make full-time income, so that's about marketing director or RMD. And then category 5 is they want to go all the way. They want to go IMD. They want to make 6 or 7 figure income and live, the IMD lifestyle. And so I usually categorize them so I know how fast we need to run and how hard we need to push them, because I know a lot of people end up quitting WorldVentures because they end up being pushed to a point to where they didn't want to be pushed. Because let's be real, not everyone wants to go IMD, all right, because that takes a lot of work. And so as soon as I figure that out, and usually if they're category 3 through 5, I'm like, all right, there's a sense of urgency. I'm like, okay, so make a list of 20. All right. Some people do 5 to 10, but I do 20 because I want you to invite 20 because, obviously not everyone's going to show up. So I immediately have them do their list, and then we start then I teach them how to invite. And the key thing about teaching someone how to invite is role playing. So I don't just have someone watch the video. I usually, even if they do watch a quick 2-minute video, our goal is to sit there in front of each other and role play so I can immediately correct the mistakes if they're doing it wrong. Because sometimes when people tell someone to invite and go home, they don't end up inviting anyone, and you can't be there to understand what they're doing right or wrong. Then I immediately set up a travel party. Always set up a travel party. And the best way to set up a travel party is to give them options, but still have control. So what I usually do, it's kind of like Marcus said, it's like the whole psychology thing. He tells his kid, he said, do you want to go to bed now or do you want to go to bed in 5 minutes? And so the kid's always going to be like, in 5 minutes. So it's like Marcus said, it really has control, but he's getting the kid to, to do whatever he wants him to do. And so whenever I'm setting a travel party up for my new rep, I'm like, all right, so I'm available on Monday and Wednesday at this time. What works best for you? Monday or Wednesday? And they're like, Wednesday, whatever they pick. And so like you have control of it, but you're giving them options compared to like just asking them when they want to have a travel party. And so after doing that, that has worked so effectively. And then after we set the travel party, our goal right on to the next step is to score in 24. And this takes about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to do.
Cool. So the travel party is part of the score in 24, or do you have that as the launch party, and then in between you're actually scheduling meetings in order to get their first win within 24 hours? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So like after we teach the invite and then we set the travel party, then our next goal is to score in 24. So let's say the travel party is a couple of days from now. I'm like, okay, next thing I do is I'm like, who do you know right now? Who do you know right now that we can show? All right. And, sometimes people get kind of nervous and they're like, I don't know. And I always revert back to what category they told me. I'm like, all right, so what category did you tell me you were again? They're like, I'm on 5. I'm like, all right, so you want to go all the way with this. All right, so we have to do this right now. If you want to be this, if you want to be an IMD, like, who do you know right now? So I have them pull out their phone in front of me, either text or call, either have them text 10 people, and then we wait for responses, or I have them call people in front of me. And so the thing with that is, for fast duplication, some people, what I used to do in the beginning where I messed up is like, okay, here's your list, hit all these people up, and then as soon as some people respond, let me know, we can go from there. And guess what happened most of the time? I never heard anything back, but I started doing something new. I was like, all right, hit these people up. They're like, right now? I'm like, yes. And we wait till we have exposure set up that night. And if we don't have exposure set up that night, at least we have exposure set up for tomorrow or the next day. So we have exposures lined up before the travel party. So once I correct them and show them how the right and the wrong way to do it, by the time they go home, they can start inviting for the travel party on their own. And I know that they can get people there. And so that's how I usually get people fast started. And I don't focus too much on the videos. The videos, they can, the quick coach, they can watch. Yeah, they can watch that on their own time at home. My goal is to get them to score in 24 immediately.
So you're doing live like training on the spot, having them take action right in front of you.
Yes.
And is this how you were actually able to start that momentum in your team and start duplicating really fast? Because I know you like popped a couple senior reps in your team, right?
Yes, I did. That's exactly how we started. There was a point to where we were having a travel party 7 days a week, sometimes 2 travel parties in one day for weeks.
That's crazy. That's awesome. So you're doing travel parties in the evenings and then a bunch of like 2-on-1s during the day, getting people to score in 24. And did that work? I mean, let's say you enrolled like 10 people in the team. How many people were actually following this and duplicating fast like this, scoring in 24? What were the results like?
It was crazy, because before, scoring 24 wasn't, it was like, oh wow, we did that. But with doing this, it was just occurring more often.
Mm-hmm.
It was getting to a point to where, let's say I enrolled someone tonight and we had them to score in 24 and their launch party was in 3 days. Well, they scored in 24. And so by the time the launch party came along, not only was my new rep inviting, but her new rep was inviting as well. So we were having more people show up to the launch party. We had 2 people inviting instead of 1. And so, yeah. So that was very helpful to our business.
Wow, super powerful. And I heard that you recently got invited to have lunch with none other than Marcus Setta, Matt Morris, and was it Troy Brown?
Yeah, Marcus. So there was a contest at the View, and called The Choice, and me and 2 other people won, and it was whoever had the most sales between the View and Momentum. And since we won that, we got a chance to have lunch with Marcus Setta and Matt Morris.
Wow. So can you tell us a little bit about what you learned and what they shared with you?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, that was crazy to actually have lunch with them. And they were just, one thing they talked about was like overtraining, because they're like overtraining. You don't want to overtrain people, because that's really going to push a lot of people away. And so whenever they were talking about that, I had an aha moment from how I used to do WorldVentures in the beginning, where we would train them so much, have them watch all the videos, do this and that. Here's the website, yada, yada, yada. And people weren't taking that much action compared to where we just kept it really, really simple. And they were just talking about, even for like Super Saturdays, they're like, some people do Super Saturdays on Sundays, on Wednesdays. And they said they're not even big into that. They said to really just focus on the regional training events, the national events, and just keep it simple. Keep it very simple. Have them watch the videos and just focus on taking action and not training so much. And so that's how you get a fast growing team. And and I've had frustrations in the past with just getting duplication and getting a big team growing in the past, and all these frustrations. I'm sure everyone here is having some kind of frustrations, whether you've put in a couple of people and not getting the results, where you've put in a lot of people and not getting the results. And Troy Brown told me something that, motivated me. He said on his first IMD spot, he signed up 187 personals, and it was number 177 is whenever everything changed. That was his biggest line. That was the line that took him to IMD, because I was frustrated because I've put in 90 plus personals, and obviously I'm not where I want to be because I want to be an IMD. And, it kind of made me excited. Like, okay, if this man put in 187, it wasn't to 177, like, who am I to complain? Just keep it moving. Just do enough till till it happens. So that was very awesome to hear from him.
Absolutely. Just doing enough. And we ask ourselves all those questions all the time, right? Like, when is it going to be my time? Like, when is enough? Like, how much do we have to do it? And I know, like, you and I have been inspiring each other halfway across the world, getting, momentum and kicking off, hearing from you and how you're doing, and vice versa. And it's just been really awesome to see you really trailblazing, and it's so inspiring.
Thank you.
Congratulations for winning that contest. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is exciting.
So yeah, basically not overtraining and just not giving up. Is there anything else that sticks to you? Whatever they shared. Anything else that Marcusetta shared?
Yeah, they were just, and we've heard this all before, and it's funny because we go to training event after training event, and sometimes we're just missing the message.
Yeah.
And he was just saying just to relax and really have fun with this, because as much as you don't think, Marcus said this, as much as you don't think people can see your frustrations, they can see it. Like, they can see it. Like, you can think you're an actor, and whenever you're on the team, like, you don't think they can see it. It's like, they can see it. So you really have to constantly work on putting out that good energy out there, because whether you believe it or not, all that in your head, it's still putting out that negative energy, and it's all about believing. And Jaron Walker, another IMD, was also in the room with me as well. I forgot to mention that. And he was just talking about when was the first time you really made that decision that network marketing was going to be it for you. And he said, a lot of people that are frustrated haven't made that decision. And so once you've made that decision that network marketing is what you're going to do for the rest of your life, and it makes you happy, why be frustrated? Why be frustrated? Obviously, we're going to get frustrated here and now and then, but like, don't make it a constant part of your life. Be frustrated for 5 minutes and then move on. And this is stuff that we've heard multiple times, but when he said that, I'm like, you're right, man. Like, this is what we do. I love basketball. Like, I'm never going to be like, I'm going to quit basketball. Like, I love playing the game. No matter how many times I lose, I know I'm going to get back up and keep playing till I win. And so that was really good to hear from them and hear all their frustrations and what they've overcame.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you have over 90 personals in the past 5 years. Did you sponsor a bulk of them in a short period of time recently?
Yes. In 2016, within like 5 or 6 months, I put in about 33
wow,
plus.
Awesome. And so, you're in your 20s. I'm sure you didn't have like a massive network. You're a student. Where are you, like these recent people that you recruited, where have you been prospecting them? Like, how have they been cold market? Like, what kind of people have you been recruiting?
Well, out of those 90 personals, I admit 89 of the 90 are all warm market. I've only recruited one cold prospect. Yeah, kind of like Eric Grabowski said, like, I really like staying in warm market. And so I focus a lot on meeting people and just going to gyms. I have a gym membership in Dallas, Austin, anywhere I go at 24 Hour Fitness, to where I'm always constantly meeting people. But honestly, those 33 personals that I put in this past year, some of them were people on my chicken list I've been waiting not to that I haven't shown yet. So they were still. What
kind of backgrounds do they have that they were on your chicken list?
Engineer majors. People
so they're fellow students.
Yeah, or people that own their own businesses that have graduated, doctors. People that I really looked up to, and so I just got to a point where I'm like, what am I doing? So I just started showing them, and you see what happens when you show people. It's amazing what happens. So
and have some of those professional, like doctors and engineers, have some of them joined you?
Yeah, I had a business owner. 38 years old, runs his own business. in Austin, doing very well. I mean, speaks all over the U.S. Publicly. Like, I was very nervous to show him. I was so nervous. I just showed him the membership at first, and then later on, I showed him the business. He's like, "Man, this is awesome." I'm like, "Let's do it." Like, signed up on the spot. I'm just like, here I was stressing out for months to show
Yeah,
this guy, and he was very excited about it. We went to the big event, already signed up for the next big event. I'm just like, wow.
that's awesome.
After being in for 5 years, I still prejudge for some reason.
Yeah, hard not to sometimes, right? It's like
Yeah.
that little voice in our head. And so, you were saying about people at the gym. So they technically are people that you hadn't like befriended before, but as you go about your daily life, you're meeting new people, you're farming them, you're becoming friends, you're making those connections, and then down the line, you're prospecting them, huh?
Yes, yes, yes.
This is a little technical, but from the moment that you encounter a new person and they start going into your pipeline, into your network, how much time goes by until you show them WorldVentures? Is it like a 1-2 kind of thing, or do you like become friends and say, hey, I've got something to show you? What do you normally do?
It just depends. Like I always say, like everyone's different. I just feel the vibe. If they're giving me clues or signs that, they're wanting something different, or I hear a pain, like sometimes like, oh man, all right, man, I have to leave the gym. I have to go to work tomorrow. And you can just feel it in their voice that they don't like being there, or something about their kids or whatever. It depends. I'll definitely bring it up quicker. But I'm red yellow. So yeah, I definitely like building relationships and talking to people. I play a lot of basketball while I'm in the gym, so I love whenever I'm in the gym. I don't really prospect just lifting weights. I prospect playing basketball because you have to always communicate and build relationships and talk to people. So that allows me to really get people's phone number easy. So I mean, some people I'll show immediately. Some people it'll be a couple of months down the line, a couple of weeks down the line. Just everyone's different. But my goal is to definitely find a way to bring up what they do, and they obviously, of course, ask me what I do, and then usually I can set up an exposure that way.
Cool. So how do you have a high closing ratio, and how do you probably, follow up with someone that's not right now kind of person?
High closing ratio. Well, I mean, they've always talked about everyone starts at a different yard line. So, I mean, I've always been someone of integrity and being honest and being genuine. So I feel like just being genuine and being you helps a lot, because people, I mean, you know how they say dog sense fear? Like, I feel like people have a really great sense of sensing when people are fake, not keeping it real, not being themselves. And so you just always want to be genuine and be honest and straight up with people 24/7. And because if people like you, if people trust you, they'll pay you. One of my mentors always said, like me, trust me, pay me. If you can get people to like you and trust you, I mean, they'll easily just pay. So the high closing ratio is just me, one, being genuine, two, casting vision. This is stuff that we've all heard before. Casting vision. People need to know not where you're at, where you used to be. That's good to know your background story, but they need to know where you're going. That's the most important thing. Right? No one cares what you did 5 years ago, 5 minutes ago. People want to know what you want to do 5 years from now. So always be speaking in the future. Always be speaking that years from now. And so when people know exactly where you're going, they'll follow you. No one wants to go follow someone that's going backwards or staying still.
Right.
And so that helps a lot with closing for sure. Yeah.
And before we get into, I want to spend a little time on promoting events. But before we do that, can you share with us a little bit about what brought you out of your plateau? I know you did go through a bit of a plateau for a while.
Yeah, yes, I did for a long time. Within the first couple of months, I hit senior rep. All right, so I got off to a fast start. Like, I signed up 36 personals my first year. The first 4 months, I didn't even do anything. So honestly, I hit senior rep within 3 months, and then within the fourth month, I was 19 away from director. So things were moving fast. I was like, oh my gosh, this is easy. I already had a senior rep on the team that was 60-60, about to hit director. I was like, man, in 3 years from now, I'm going to be an IMD. And then 4 years later, I was still senior rep, frustrated. I still went to all the training events, didn't miss training events. And it was February 2016. Matt Morris had a limo night. And whoever had just 2 personals will get to go on this limo night. And I didn't even get that. And I was sitting at home by myself, frustrated. And I was frustrated, but it wasn't until Matt Morris, he kept sending me pictures with like this, with people on my team and like this, and they were tagging me, but I wasn't there, but they were pointing at me and like, I'm red, so that kind of that made me mad because I always want to lead by example and lead from the front, and so I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I listened to an audio by Ekeocha, which I'm sure y'all heard of, double IMD, out of New York, and he said it was called Me Versus Me. If you can find that audio, it really inspired me to really get selfish. Me being yellow, like I really always for years now focused on helping other people and focused on them getting their goals. But as we know, like all you can do is only all you can do. You can't make people do something. You can't want it for other people more than they want it for themselves. And so I just started focusing on my goals again. I had a personal goal. My goal was to get 40 plus personals. My goal was just to be completely selfish and worry about what I had to do. And once I started being selfish and I just went on that spree of just putting a whole bunch of people in and worrying about what I had to do, it's crazy what happened. I popped 4 senior reps last year and I hit director. So the first couple of years I kept focusing on what other people's goals were, and nothing was happening. I focused on myself, and that's what happened. And it's all about inspiring versus motivating. And a lot of people don't know the difference. But motivating is whenever you're talking and trying to get people to go into action. Inspiring is whenever you do the actions yourself, and that's what's really going to get people to follow. And once I did that, I mean, everything started happening. And so that's how I got myself out of my plateau. Is just got selfish and started worrying about my goals, and people got inspired by that, and that's what happened.
That's awesome, man. That's really awesome. So the duplication, I mean, the key thing about duplication is the events. So I know that you've been really good at promoting the training. So do you have any special techniques for promoting training, and how often do you promote trainings?
I promote, so yes, I do have techniques for promoting training. How often do I promote training? 24/7. I mean, 24/7. I always tell people whenever people get started, I don't make people do WorldVentures. Like I really don't make people do WorldVentures at all. I don't try to sell that, but if there's one thing I'm going to sell, like I am going to be like the most ultimate salesperson of all time, it is training, because I know what it's going to do for them and their business. So I'm promoting it 24/7. Pretty much I'm going to promote it to you till you have your ticket. One technique that I do is I BAM fam. A lot of people BAM fam for exposures, but I BAM fam for training. I'm like, okay, so when can you get your ticket? Probably Friday. All right, so what time do you think you get your ticket? 5 o'clock? Okay, how about on 5 o'clock, I'm going to call you and we're going to get you registered. Okay. Well, it's okay. Just give me the link and I'll get signed. I'm like, no, it's okay. You've never done this before. I want to make sure you do it correctly because some people make a mistake. So at 5 o'clock on Friday, I'm going to call you, okay? Okay. So 5 o'clock comes around. I call him. All right, cool. You buy your computer? All right, cool. So go here, go here. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so click it, register, boom, they have it registered. Because if you depend on people to register themselves, it's not going to happen. And so once you BAM them and get them to register, they're gonna sign up, and after they pay that money, they're most likely gonna go.
Yeah.
And another technique that I do is during we have, I'm sure you have a Facebook page, or I don't know if you use GroupMe, whatever you use where everyone communicates. I'm constantly posting a list of everyone registered for training, and constantly the RT list and the national event list. Because think about it, if you're looking at this list and you're seeing everybody else on your team registered, do people like seeing their name not on a list? Like everyone wants to be on that VIP list. Everyone wants to be on that team, that team that's going somewhere. So like when they don't see their names on the list, they're like, man, like I need to get my ticket. So I'm constantly posting the list. And every time I post a list, usually someone ends up registering like 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later or a next day later. So I'm constantly putting that list in front of everyone's face, because who wants to feel left out that they're not going or, being a part of the team, because everyone wants to be on the list. And so that's another technique that I use. There's other.
Do you
No,
promote,
go ahead.
do you promote training the exact same way to everyone, and do you promote each training the same or differently?
Um, I promote I promote it different to different people, because everyone, there's 4 different colors. So people got to understand, like I was saying before, it goes back to psychology. Like, not everyone's going to be motivated by the same thing. So if I'm talking to a red, I'm like, look, man, you got to get to this training event. And what I'll talk about is like, look, man, like, don't you want to have those nice cars, those nice houses? Don't you want to be speaking in front of thousands of people, just inspiring a whole bunch of people? They're like, yeah, man, like, look, man, if you get at this training event, you're going to have this car, you're going to have the houses, you're going to have the flashy things. And so, like, because, reds are attracted to stuff like that. If I'm talking to a yellow, I'm like, look, you have to get to this training event. Like, I know you love helping people, right? They're like, yeah, well, like, how do you expect to help other people if you're not going to help yourself and get to the training event? The only way you're going to really help these people is if you get to these training events. And then I talk about the culture. I'm like, the culture is amazing. Everyone is just, there's people crying, there's people getting together. Like, everyone is just talking about things that they want to work on to grow. I just talk about the yellow part of the environment. I'm talking to a blue. I'm like, man, bro, like, this training event, you're going to learn so much, but it is a lot of fun. It's like one big party. Like, don't you want to go to one? I mean, I know you like the party. Like, you're going to have a lot of fun going to this, and then we can go out afterwards after it's over, get to meet so many people. And they're like, yeah, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Then if I'm talking to a green, I'm like, look, I know you're very precise about how things work. I'm like, do you want to know the nuts and bolts of this? Do you want to know to the T, from A to Z, how to get this done? If you go to the training event, they'll teach you from the T exactly step by step how to get this done. And the greens are like, yeah, man, that's what I want. And so obviously you can't tell a yellow, like, cars, houses will make a lot of money, because that's not what attracts to them. So that's how I promote differently to different people based on what color they are.
That's awesome. You've just shared so many good things. Like, I'm so glad that we recorded this. We've got to wrap up, unfortunately, because, half an hour is up. But thank you so much for sharing. And is there any last words that you want to tell people out here dialing in from around the world? Anything that you want them to take away as their next marching orders?
I mean, as simple as it's gonna sound, I mean, I hated always hearing this, but when they say show more people, that's really all it is. I mean, it's probably one of the worst answers that I hated hearing. Like, I'm just like, give me something else. But that's really all it comes down to. With no matter what problem you're having, if you just focus on just keeping it simple and just keep showing people, you're just gonna get better. You're just gonna get better by default. So I know people don't want to hear that, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and it's really show more people faster, hey?
Yes, faster. Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to quickly pop on here to share my screen again, because I just have a couple of announcements. So we have an acceleration training coming up March 17th to 19th here in Singapore at the Expo. And also this weekend, we have our Momentum coming up in Brisbane, Australia. So those of you dialing in from Australia, you guys need to be there. I mean, like Tracy said, in these 5 years, no matter what he was going through, he never skipped any single event, and neither have I in the past 3 years. And really, the magic is where the events are really where the magic happens, and all big decisions are made at big events. So everything must go. So that's about it from us. Next Monday, stay tuned. Our weekly English team call, same webinar ID, same time, same place. So hope to see you there. And of course, our Mandarin team call on Sunday night at 10 o'clock, webinar ID 198477272. So thank you so much, Tracy. It's been really so much fun and an honor to talk to you, and wish you a great day and a great week. And there's a lot of people thanking you in the chat box. So before you log off, maybe look at what they're saying, because they're sending a lot of love.
Okay, where do I look at that at?
There's a chat box.
Okay. I'll figure it out.
All right. Thanks
Oh,
so
I
much,
see.
guys. And thank you, everyone, for logging on. We had over 115 or 130 people logged on, so it was a lot of people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
All right. Well, have a great day. Bye, guys. Good night. We're
Thank you.
signing off. Bye.